Guys, my name is SnoopDogFan. This is another weapon trailer analysis video. We got 3 more weapons to look at today, and we're going to be doing them in sequential order once again. Today we're doing the Hunting Horn, Longsword, and the Charge Blade. So 3 interesting weapons here. 3 that a lot of people are probably really hyped to see, because I know a lot of people play Longsword. A lot of people wanted to see what they're going to do with Charge Blade, and a lot of people want to see what they would do with Hunting Horn, because they were curious, was it going to be more like World or more like Rise? Because Rise, they made a ton of changes to it. So we were curious to see if those would carry over into this game. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into the first one here. We got the Hunting Horn. And the Hunter is rocking the bone armor in this trailer here. Looking good. Looking good. They're using like this drum hunting horn, which looks really cool. And yes, this is the first blunt weapon they're showing off. You can see there they go and get a stun. That's the specialty of blunt weapons in this game, basically. The hammer and the hunting horn, they both do stun damage when you hit the monster in the head. If you hit enough times, it'll knock it down for a damage base. And here we can see the hunting horn doing its performance to give buffs. So let me rewind it really quickly here, because the interesting thing here is that it looks like they perform, hit the monster, and then perform again. So it's looking like we might have some sort of like change the performance where it's not like Rise where it kind of does it automatically, but it's not entirely like World where it's pause and do like one long performance. It looks like you mix up the performance into your combos maybe, because you saw there they did it, then they went back to attacking for a moment, and then they started the performance again. So who knows, maybe they just used it performance twice, maybe they're 2 separate performances, or maybe they were just one that was spread out over a combo instead of having to do it all at once. So I'm hoping it's that, because that'd be really cool. This is the biggest new change. Look at that animation. That's pretty cool looking. And we've got these echo bubbles that you place on the ground. So it hits the monster. We'll rewind it really quickly. You'll see here, it does a little 38 damage to the monster and knocks it backwards. And it places this bubble on the ground. And when I saw this for the first time, I started laughing because I was like, dude, this looks like some stuff straight out of like Final Fantasy 14. Like, this is some shit a black mage would be doing, like putting these circles on the ground. It's crazy. But yeah, so here's what they do. You'll see, as the hunter's attacking here, these echo bubbles are hitting the monster repeatedly for every time he does an attack. You're seeing multiple damage numbers come up. That's because every time he does a shockwave with his horn, the echo bubbles also produce a shockwave. So he's just stacking these hits on the monster while it's down here, which is really cool. And you can see the reason why he's getting so many numbers is because the monster is currently within 2 bubbles at the same time. And then there's a third one off to the side. Don't know if that's actually affecting the damage here because the monster's not actually overlapping with that third one. But who knows, maybe all it takes is for them to be connected to each other, and then they all kind of share their power. We'll have to see how it works out. We're going to have to like test that out in depth. And yeah, that's just a little basic explanation. For those of you that don't know, the main draw of the hunting horn is that when you play these melodies, you basically hit the monster with your attacks to get different kinds of notes, and then you do a performance to play the melody and buff yourself, and those buffs also apply to nearby allies. So that's kind of the main draw of the hunting horn. It's kind of like a support weapon in some aspects where you can buff your team, but it also can dish out some serious damage. Especially with those new echo bubbles, it's looking like the damage output on this is going to be crazy if you can play your cards right. Here's some focus mode attacks. Look at that. Stabs into him, and then he plays the drum like that. Now, I believe that was a wire bug attack in Rise. I didn't play Hunting Horn in that game, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure I've seen that before as a wire bug attack. So it's cool they're bringing it back as a focus move. It looks like a really fun move. You can just get a ton of hits in, playing like a little drum solo. It looks cool. That right there looks like it could be a mounted Punisher. Play that one more time. Just because it's zoomed in kind of cinematically like that, and the monster gets toppled over as soon as he does it. I'm guessing that's a mounted Punisher, you know, like a finishing move for your mount. Here we have a big shockwave attack. And actually, if you rewind that there, we can see there's actually a different hunting horn he's using in this one clip. This is one that's been in the games before. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's been around for a little while. I remember using it before. And I think I used it. I don't know what game it was. I think it was in World. I know it might have been in Gen Ultimate as well. I don't know, but I've used this before. Like that's a weapon that's been in the games before. Does the big shockwave there again. Another like huge shockwave that sends the monster down instantly. That was awesome. This looks like it might be another kind of like special focus move maybe, because it looks like such a big impact there. I'm guessing it might be a focus move. I'm not entirely sure though. But overall, the big thing here with the hunting horn is it looks like they're reverting it back to the world style of playing the melodies, but they're changing it up so you can work combos into them, like we saw in the beginning here, where he was performing and comboing. So you see there he performs, does the hit, and then starts performance again. I don't know. This weapon I feel like we're really going to need to test out to see what these changes really are doing, because unlike a lot of the other weapons where the changes are very much like you can see them like in action and like know exactly how they work right away, these seem like a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced changes, but like I feel like we're going to have to test them out. Like what is the limit on this like comboing mid-performance thing? How many hits can you do? Because here we only see him do one. And with the echo bubbles as well, like how many are you going to be able to place down at once? Like is 3 the max, or can you place down as many as you want? You know, and how long do they last? What are the criteria for the monster taking extra damage from them? They have to be actually overlapping with the bubble, or do these 3 bubbles linking up with each other like power it up somehow? I feel like we're gonna need to test this one out a lot, guys, when the demo comes in Gamescom. But overall, I'm really liking the way it looks. The echo bubbles seem like a really cool new mechanic to use mid-hunt. And who knows, maybe there will be hunting horns where one of their buffs is like, oh, any allies standing within the bubbles get buffed like even more. Like maybe that would be so cool. Anyways, guys, we're gonna move on to the longsword now. And fair warning, I've barely played the longsword like at all. So bear with me, guys. I'm not really that good at the knowledge for the longsword. But just look at this weapon. Oh my god, dude. Every weapon so far looks so sick, and this one is just crazy looking. We got these 2 metal plates on the top screwed in with these like screws, this like rebar kind of stuff. We got like these teeth and claws like adorning the blade. Oh my god, dude. It looks so good. And this armor as well. Look at that. This is kind of reminding me of Doshiguma. Maybe this is a Doshiguma armor, because this looks kind of like his main. That's kind of what I'm guessing this is, but it looks so sick. And there we got the little unsheath attack. Looks so dope. So yeah, swift movement and combos is the name of the game for this weapon. You're basically doing these combos to build up your spirit gauge and transform to higher levels. I think goes like yellow, then white, then red. I believe that's the order. But yeah, there's basically 3 different levels of spirit gauge you can be in. And you want to hit red because that's the highest and it lets you do the most damage. And I think gives you access to new moves even. And yeah, counters. Those have been a thing on the longsword for a little while. Rise gave a lot of weapons counters, obviously, but you know, longsword got some. I think I might have had one in World even. I'm pretty sure. But like I said, guys, I've not played this weapon that much, so I honestly don't know. But yeah, countering. Longsword mains should be used to this by now because it wasn't a prevalent thing in Rise. And yeah, let me just rewind it really quickly here. Let's see it one more time. So this is a basic combo. Nothing really crazy there. And yeah, here's a counter. He kind of dodges backwards and then sweeps in. The animations look great. Like, holy dude. It looks so smooth. And then he comes in with another follow-up. And here's what I was talking about earlier, guys. The spirit gauge. That's that gauge at the top left there. You can see he just did a little, like, basically, once your spirit gauge is high enough, or like once you've done a long enough combo, there's like a finisher move you can do, and that finisher move is what upgrades your bar. So you see here, there's no outline against that sword at the top left. He does that finishing move, and then he goes to white. So maybe it's white, yellow, then red. I'm not sure. That's what it was looking like because he got the white first. I messed up earlier. I think I said yellow, white, red. I don't know, dude. But it's white, yellow, red. So now here he's in yellow, and now he hits them again. Does this finishing move, and then it goes to red. And it's got this sweet animation. Look at that. It's like got energy coursing through the sword while it's glowing red. It looks so dope, guys. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. Your attacks will be strengthened depending on if you're focused or your spirit gauge is up. And also, you'll gain access to new moves. Here's some focus attacks they're going to show off. He's attacking a wounded spot right now. Look at that attack, guys. We're going to rewind that. This looks awesome. It's like the Ichimonji slash from Sekiro. He does like the little overhead. That's so cool. Alright, and then what do we got next here? Little like counter. And guys, right there after the counter, we'll rewind that. That's the big attack that you do in red mode. So here's the counter. Looks dope. That attack where you jump up into the air, slash your sword down, and then does like a multi-hit. That's your big like hit that you want to do once you're in red on the focus gauge or whatever it's called. Spirit level. I don't know. I'm a noob, guys. I'm a noob. But you can see there he does like kind of combo at the end of it, and then just like a little slash at the end there. We'll play it one more time. It's looking dope, guys. It's looking really cool. They added in new focus moves, obviously. It looks like a lot of the weapon has gone basically unchanged. I mean, there might be some new like little hits within those combos there. The combos might be slightly different, but overall it's looking really similar to what we've already seen in other games. You're just doing your combos, trying to raise your spirit gauge up to red level, and then you're doing your huge hits once you're at that red level to get your extra damage. It feels like they haven't made any real major changes to this weapon, and like honestly, it feels like the one that might be the most similar to its previous generation counterparts. But that's not a bad thing. The longsword's a great weapon. People love it. It's so cool looking, and the animations look great. It looks like the focus moves are gonna look awesome. I feel like it was the right call to honestly leave it relatively untouched compared to the others because it's already such a great weapon, dude. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. I might be trying it in Wilds. I'm not sure. I want to try every weapon in Wilds, at least a little, because I mean, I said that I would do that in World, but I literally only play Greatsword in World, so I kind of lied. But this will be the game I changed that, I swear. Anyways, guys, next up and last but not least, we have the Charge Blade. I'm hyped to see this one. I mean, I already watched it, alright? I already watched it, but I'm hyped to go over this one because this weapon is awesome. This is another one I don't know that much about though. It's really like I don't want to say complex, but like it kind of is complex. They made it a lot simpler within like World and Rise than it was in 4 Ultimate where it was introduced. But I still really don't know that much about it. I'll try my best though. And guys, are you seeing what I'm seeing? This armor and this weapon. Look at that. We'll let it get to the little screen here with the overview. But before we get into the weapon, guys, the actual moveset, we gotta go over some stuff here. Because that weapon, you can literally see the cobwebs on it. And also the design of the armors are like really matching a Temnoceran monster. And the Temnoceran monster, guys, those are the spider monsters. We've had 2 in the past. Look at this. I got some images ready here to show you. I'm professional now. We got Nerscylla and Rhok-Nikadaki. These are the only 2 spider monsters, not counting their subspecies, that have been in the games before. And you can see clearly here. I mean, look at the Rhok-Nikadaki in particular. The webs on its body there, on its legs, they match that switch axe. Not switch axe, guys. Charge blade. My mistake. They match that charge blade's pattern, like with the webs on it. So I think this is all but confirming we're getting a spider monster in Wilds. But that raises the question: who is it gonna be? Now, first up here, I also got the armor sets. We're gonna look at them here. First up, let's go over Nerscylla, just because I don't think it's gonna be Nerscylla, guys. The armor looks way different than the ones that we see here. Let me move Nerscylla out of the way. Look at that. This armor looks nothing like the new ones we see here, so it's not going to be Nerscylla. Unless they drastically change the design of the armor, but I don't think so. So sorry, Nursilla fans. Who knows? Maybe they'll add Nursilla as well. But anyways, Raknagadaki, much more likely candidate. But I don't know, guys. Look at the armor. It's looking a lot different. It obviously has some similar things going on the female version with like the dress and the headpiece, but I think that this is going to be an entirely new spider monster, guys. I mean, seriously, look at this armor. It's so different. The coloration obviously is way different, but also the designs. They're similar, but they're way too unique to be Rock Nikadaki, I believe. So I think we're getting a new spider monster, and obviously they haven't showed it at all yet, so we're gonna have to wait and see what it is. But crazy that they're dropping this armor set in a weapon video just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, because this basically is confirming they're making a new spider monster. So I'm hyped to see that, guys. I really am. I feel like we don't have enough of the spider monsters. And I just want to say, this is one thing that Wilds has been so good at, guys. Rise had some pretty good diversity when it came to the monster types we got, but World, oh my god, it was like all wyverns, dude. It was brute wyverns, flying wyverns. You know, we got different kinds of wyverns, but there was like nothing else, like until Iceborne. I seriously like we had elder dragons obviously, but I can't I'm struggling to even name a monster type in that game that wasn't a freaking wyvern variant. You know what I mean? Like even Gyrototus, that's a Piscean wyvern. Like that's a fish. Obviously, it's very different than the other ones with wings, but still, they were all wyverns. But in Wilds, the three monsters they've revealed already and actually given us names for, we got a fanged beast, Doshiguma, an amphibian, Chotacabra, and a leviathan, which is Balahabra, I think its name is. So they're doing such a good job with the monster diversity in this game. Like seriously, we haven't even seen a wyvern like in the spotlight yet. Obviously, we know Rathalos is in the game, and whatever that crazy lightning-looking monster was in the second trailer. But seriously, they're really doing an insanely good job at the monster diversity. And if they add a spider monster, like I think they're going to, that's just gonna prove my point even further. Like seriously, I'm so excited. There's gonna be so many differences, like so many unique hunts in this game just because of that alone. It's gonna be so awesome. Anyways, guys, let's go to the actual weapon now. That's what we're here for. So yeah, you got sword mode and axe mode. Sword mode is much quicker and allows you to move around more. And basically what you do, guys, you charge up your files in sword mode by attacking the monster. And then once you switch into axe mode, you can use those files to do huge attacks like the elemental discharge and, you know, bust your damage a ton. And that's what they're going to show off here. You're seeing her attack the monster, and look, when she does that move right there, where she puts it into the shield, that's her loading the files. You can see them turn from like the yellow outline to actually being loaded at the top left. So she gained 3 from doing that. And that's just Charge Blade 101, dude. Like, obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. Like, there's specific combos you want to do to be maximizing your damage. And, like, there's certain moves that are better than others, I guess. But I don't really know what the optimal way to play it is. I'm not the pro. Like I said, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to weapons. But I know the basics, at least. And you see there, she uses the axe. Spends a file at the top to do a little damage buff. You can see at the end of the swing there's that little explosion. That's the element of her weapon being like cast onto the monster, and the way she does that is by using up a file charge. And she's doing it again right there. So yeah, those are just some basic moves. Nothing crazy looks like it's been changed there. Again, it's like longsword. Maybe there's some smaller moves that have been changed. Maybe, you know, they're mix mashing the Rise and World move sets, but I'm not really sure. But it looks like standard stuff. Here we see her dishing out massive damage with axe mode. And yeah, she's doing a bunch of hits. Using a ton of files. And guys, I believe that's a new move right there. So she uses the axe like that. Usually you would be doing like an elemental discharge, but that looks like a new thing. Like you see, I'm gonna do it one more time here. So she swings the axe around like crazy. Goes into that stance, hits the monster, does that huge swing, and then look at that huge explosion in the face, stunning it instantly. Really cool looking. And again, I think that's a new combo. I haven't seen that before myself, but I could be wrong. But I think that's new. Looks really dope, regardless. And here we see the files can power up different aspects of the weapon. Alright, let's see what that was, because I don't even know. Okay, so here's what happened there, guys. That attack, basically, if you watch the top left, I'll play it one more time. The files were sent into her shield to power it up. So you can see all 5 of those files are spent, and the shield in the HUD starts glowing and, like, becomes a little bigger. Which is a nice, honestly, like I've been saying it every time, guys, but the HUD looks great in this game. Obviously, we haven't got to see the full thing yet with the health bar and stand bar, but just the weapon UI alone is so clean. Like, seriously, look at how small and compact this is. Like, this is them zooming in on it. Like, it's going to be even smaller than that in-game. But it conveys all the information so efficiently and while taking up such little space. It's awesome. But yeah, her shield's powered up now. And with that power, I guess she puts it in the sword as well. So now her sword's powered up, and you can see on her hunter as well, they're glowing. And basically, when they're powered up, I believe they just do more damage. And you might get access to new moves, but I seriously couldn't tell you guys. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to be analyzing this, but I'm kind of a newbie. You'll do more damage when they're powered up, though. I know that much. Here's some focus mode attacks, and this is so dope. We got like the spinning chainsaw. Oh my god, guys. One more time for the fans. It's like Gunlance, dude. It looks so dope. With that spinning like chainsaw attack. And then here we have a little like sneak attack or something with the sword. And then here's the elemental discharge. That's like the classic elemental discharge right there. Where you do that swing and then you swing it over your head. Slam it down the monster, and then all your files get shot out into this giant burst of like element damage. That's the classic freaking move. I've seen that one a lot. Let's rewind it one more time just to see what this was again. So there, it looks like she blocks. Like, let me rewind it one more time. She blocks the monster, puts her sword into the shield, switches into axe mode directly, and then does that uppercut. So that's looking to me like it's gonna be like a counter type of move, which I think was in the game before, because this weapon does have a heavy emphasis on the shield. You get these guard points like mid some moves, where like during your attacks or like during your recovery frames, you'll be holding your shield out and you can block incoming damage. So I'm guessing you could do this counter from those as well, but we'll have to see, guys. Like I said, I'm really not professional when it comes to this weapon. But that's just my basic observations and my basic thoughts on this. It looks great. I'll try to play it. But that's one weapon where it's like it looks so complex, like I'm scared to try and learn it because it looks so confusing. I bet it's not that bad, like if I actually put in the work to learn it, but like I don't know. Anyways, guys, all 3 of these weapons are looking insanely good. The hunting horn, I've played the hunting horn before, so that's the one I'm most hyped for out of these 3. The echo bubbles look so cool, and like there's so much they could do with them. Like I said, imagine they do something where like you buff your allies and then they become stronger while they're standing in the bubbles. Like literally like FF14 like buffing. Like it's crazy the things they could do with that. Longsword is looking relatively the same, but nothing wrong with that. You know, they're just really they're really focusing on what made it good in the first place. The combos, the quick movement, the spirit gauge mechanic, and they're really not touching it that much, which I think is fine. And I think it's the same thing for the Charge Blade, honestly. It looks like they haven't changed that much. It's still the same basic gameplay loop of like charging your files with your sword mode, going into axe mode, and unleashing your big attacks. They're just adding in more big attacks to do, maybe some more combos to get those files. Overall, that's looking like nothing huge. Not like Hunting Horn level where like, oh, they're adding a whole new mechanic. And I think that's all I gotta say, guys. I'm extremely hyped for this game. As you know, we're gonna be doing these in chunks of 3. So in the next 3 days, you can see another video here on the channel going over the next 3 weapons. And I'm looking forward to Gamescom to do a little analysis of the first actual playable demo of this game. I'm so excited. Anyways, guys, my name's been SnoopDogFan, and I'll see you in the next one.